Y'all, and welcome back to Leesah's Cottage. It's been a while since I've done an opening on a video, so I thought I'd just grab the camera, put the card in, get the fresh battery put in it, and say welcome and good morning. Today is a Tuesday morning for me, and I do believe it's going to be work inside the house day. Got to get some work done that I'm behind on, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. And the temperature has been cooling down here in the hills of Tennessee, and our trees are already starting to drop leaves. I guess they're just confused with how hot and humid our July was. I'm thinking that the trees were thinking it was already our late August, September. So that's what's going on here. Boy, do we have some hummingbirds. I'm gonna shut that squeaky door behind me so those hummingbirds do not decide to take flight indoors. We have some hummingbirds hanging out here. Ken's keeping them fed with their sugar water. He has a feeder here and a feeder there. And we're thinking we've seen a couple of babies. So that may be why so many hummingbirds are zipping around our backyard here. But I'm gonna get back in. I made a bowl of oatmeal this morning. I have got to get my eating under control. I was starting to lose quite a bit of weight. I'd lost 8 pounds of the pounds that I had gained. And then over the hospital stay, eating the way I did with Ken in the hospital, that didn't help keep the weight off and not being able to work outside. If I wasn't working outside and if I wasn't as active as I am and get the steps in, I would hate to see what I look like with the kind of food that I've been putting in my mouth. And today being a day that I'm not going to be active out there, I said it's time you just really tighten up your belt and get back to eating the way you were last year at this time, which was start my day off with my oatmeal. And this morning I just made it super simple. I thought we had some fresh blueberries, but Ken must have eaten those up or taken them to work. So I just made a bowl of oatmeal and threw some walnuts in there and a couple of packets of stevia. There's not a banana in there because I don't have bananas. I had gotten out of the habit of eating my oatmeal every morning, and that helps keep me full. And then I've been pushing water. I bet I've been getting well over 100 ounces of water in a day when working outside, which that's a good thing because the way I sweat out there, oh my goodness. And this is the first year I have ever had to deal with a sweat rash completely on my body. So over the weekend or Sunday, I gave myself a complete break from being outside, working in it and getting sweaty because I had to give my poor skin a break. So I'm going to start my day off with my oatmeal, and I have my bottle of water that I will drink with my oatmeal, and looks like I've got a couple things of vitamins I need to put an order in for. I usually get those through Amazon. If not through Amazon, I will put them, or Ken will put them in our Walmart order, and I'll get them through Walmart. And as you can see, I did get my Yeti, and I gave the other tumbler to Ken, and I've got those. Well, Ken actually had both of them washed up for me, but I'd used this one for my coffee this morning, and I've got to cut back on the amount of cream, the coconut cream flavor that I've been using. I'm going to use that up, and then I'm going back to just the Plano that I've always drank in the past. So the coconut cream, I won't be buying another, and it's probably maybe got, I don't know, a fourth in it maybe. It's really low. I'm gonna finish that up and not buy that because it's so yummy, but it has more calories than just the original. And we've been eating our fair share of fresh fruits, cantaloupes, watermelons. I love those, especially when I'm working outside. Our tomatoes are coming in, and oh my goodness, they are delicious. And we have several personal watermelons growing out there, and I've not really been able to work the garden this year. It is covered, I mean covered in weeds, to the point I was out there over the weekend and I kept smelling skunk. And when you usually smell that kind of smell, the skunk smell that I smell, it usually means it's a black rat snake. And I said, I think it's in between all these watermelons. No way am I sticking my hands in there. Even though they're not poisonous, I do not want to be touching or a huge black rat snake surprising me. So I'm not even pulling the weeds out there. And he talked about just going ahead and tilling over a couple of the rows where the squash was coming in, because for some reason the plants were dying out. Our neighbor said he's having the same issue this year, not doing well with the garden. I know it's gonna be one of those days that I've got so much to do that I get overwhelmed. So Ken left me a note this morning. Good morning. She has been fed. I'm reading out that glasses. She has been fed. He leaves that down here because I would fix her food, not knowing that he's already fed her. So I was happy that that had been done. She, as in Sophie. Finishing up the last 2 loads today. I had to go ahead and leave these doors open here of the laundry closet because it was kind of stinking in there, even though when I am through with my work clothes that I use outside, when I come in to get my shower, I will throw my work clothes directly into the washing machine because they have to get washed then and there, that day, that hour, because they are, I mean, so heavy from sweat. Oh, I couldn't even imagine if I let those sit in these baskets here, especially overnight, much less an hour. I just throw them straight in the wash, and Ken knows the same thing. If both of us have been outdoors working for that day, as soon as we get our shower, our work clothes go into the washing machine, and then I do a very heavy washing and put the vinegar and all that in. If you've ever been outside doing a lot of work and get super sweaty, you know they can take on a sour smell, and it's hard to wash it out. So I usually put the vinegar in with those to get the stink out. I told him the other day, I was like, good grief, I can smell myself and I smell like a man. He says, you work like a man. I said, well, this is true. These flowers that I opened up today's video with, they're starting to play out. But these were locally grown, and they have really lasted a very long time, and they're absolutely a beautiful bunch. They're looking kind of sad right now, but I'm just letting them have one more day. And Ken had picked this up for me a few weeks back, and it just keeps putting off fresh blooms. You can see one coming up, well, 2, 3 right there. And when these play out, I just cut them really low, and then these will grow up. And I just keep the soil moist. And
I've been watching you from a distance as I turn out all the lights. All I want from you is to listen and remember the good times. If you think of all that we leave out, is that weird you're feeling good? I know nothing ever turned out as you wanted to, but every time I feel it, every time I breathe, every time I close my eyes, it's coming right at me over again. Till the morning light. Yeah, I know I will learn it the hard way, 'cause I just can't leave it be. And I don't really care what they say, it's all about you and me. But every time I feel it, every time I breathe, every time I close my eyes, it's coming right at me over again. time I close my eyes, it's coming right up the other way.
So as you've seen, I use the Mrs. Meyer Clean Day Radish scent first to get off the dirt and any grime from the stovetop here, as well as the front of the oven doors. And then I washed the cleaning rag, which is hot water and Dawn dishwashing liquid. And then I went behind wiping it down and then drying it down from the Mrs. Meyer Clean Day Radish scent multi-surface cleaner. And then I wanted to give it a shine. So I use Walmart brand, the Great Value, take note, ammonia-free glass cleaner. From what I understand, we're not supposed to be using ammonia on our glass top. I try not to, if at all possible. Also, I've been told by stone companies never to use glass cleaner that has ammonia in it on our granite countertops. So there is how I clean my stovetop as well as my oven doors. Grease and the grime and the gopher guts and whatever else may be baked on, smeared on, stuck on. And then I go behind and polish it, shine it up with the Great Value ammonia-free glass cleaner towels for the last step. And they're just Walmart brand. I'm not really fond of name brands because I feel like they leave a film or a hazy look or a hazy film on any glass surfaces, mirrors, and I've always liked the Glass Plus. However, I can't find the Glass Plus any longer, but I think this is pretty darn tootin' close to the Glass Plus, and that's what I use for my glass and mirrors. And it's all sparkly, shiny, shiny. And now I'm gonna run some water through this personal Keurig, and it just gets out anything that might be stuck up around. I do that quite often, so that stuck on or gook or gunk doesn't come out into my coffee. And sometimes it puts out a lot of gook and gunk, and I'm like, ew. You see the color? Yeah. And sometimes I might do this a second time too to make sure it has everything out. It's not really a whole lot of gunk, but still. So I had ordered this through Grove Collaborative, and I'd gotten it for, it is a glass cleaner, and that's what I'd gotten it for. However, I'm not too crazy about using it as a glass cleaner. For me, I feel like it leaves a smear on our mirrors or glass. But I discovered I do like using it on my stainless steel. Been with me for very long or seen some of my earlier cleaning videos, you know that I like to use dusting polish. However, you got to be very careful when using that and the overspray getting on the wood floors, because you will soon find out if that overspray gets onto your wood floors, it's very slippery. But I found not with this, and I like the results almost as well. So I'm going to be cleaning my stainless steel refrigerator and a dishwasher with the Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day glass cleaner. And this is lavender scent. I'm not crazy about strong lavender scents, but this don't have a real strong lavender scent to it, to me. So I've got to find something to use it on. I purchased it and I want to use it. Now, I am by no means complaining. I just find it quite hairy. I moved this over to dust mop under it, and I've only dust mopped here in the kitchen. And look at this. Oh my goodness, I could make some hair jewelry with Sophie Girl's fur. Oh my, I would not trade it for anything. Oh my goodness. Look at this. And this is just from the kitchen. Is that disgusting? Yes. Somebody is trying to bite my face off. Oh my goodness. The kitchen floor clean today. I won't be able to put that high shine down until she's like gone to daycare one day, or gone to be, which she don't get groomed, but sometimes we take her in to get bathed. So it would be one of those days. And I've been doing the bathing, or me and Ken have been doing the bathing in between, getting a real good bathing and her nails trimmed and all that other stuff that they do at the groomers. That would be the day I'd have to put the high shine on, because it wouldn't do one bit of good, because she would be running right through it. Yeah, she herds the vacuum, which I find it quite funny. I guess if I was in a rush and didn't have time to play games with her. But what's funny is it would take up more time for me to stop her from herding it as it is to just let her herd it and work around her. I think it's quite hilarious how she nips at it. It's funny. So yeah, she makes me laugh, makes me smile. So that's just the way it's gonna roll until she quits herding it, or she may continue to herd it from now until never and never, amen. So what I'm gonna do, being that I'm doing a very thorough clean here in the kitchen, yay, about stinking time, I was able to mop the floors with the, did I already put it away? The Method. You know, it's the kind you just squirt on the floor. Oh, it smells so good. I'm not real crazy about the results it gives me. However, this is better than nothing. I still feel like it leaves it somewhat hazy, and I just can't get the kind of results like I love since not being able to buy the Johnson & Johnson floor wax. Now I use a different kind of cleaner that puts a better, higher shine, glossier shine than this, just using the Method. And I do that when Sophie's gonna be away, because it has to be allowed to dry for so long. And I know just as soon as I was able to do it, she would just come prancing or running right through, and I'd have a bunch of little paw prints in the floor or on the wood floors. Well, that's what it is. It's the Method Wood for Good Squirt and Mop Wood Floor Cleaner, and it's the almond scent, and that is one of my favorite smells, almond. Oh, I wished I could find a perfume that had the almond in it. I would bathe myself in it. So if you know of any perfume that has the almond scent in it, would you mind sharing it with me in the comments section below? And I was outside playing with a Bella. That's not a Bella, that's Sophie. With Sophie a bit, and we went out and checked the mail and gathered the mail, and I've got an Amazon delivery. Go figure. I think I know what's in there, but I'll open that in just a bit. I'm gonna spray some granite cleaner in the sink and let it sit for just a few seconds, and then I'll buff it. I'll wipe it down, then I'll buff it down. So I'll be using two different soft cloths, which they are cloth diapers. I also use Pledge in here, and it works just as good. This is granite composite. I believe that's what they call this thing. Here we go. While I was out in the garage where I keep the majority of my cleaning supplies and a couple of cabinets out there, getting the granite polish to do the sink. I'll spray that in the sink. I run across this one last can of the Johnson One Step No Buff Wax. This is my all-time favorite, and I cannot find it anywhere. I think they've actually quit selling it. So I went through several products to try to get the same look, and I just have not been able to do that. And then I come across this, the Quick Shine High Traffic Hardwood Floor Luster. This is what I use. And Rock Doctor also makes a granite cleaner. In one of my videos, before I thought I was putting the wax on the granite, I discovered when I was doing the edits, I had grabbed the granite cleaner and I was thinking it was the granite polish. So that was, oops. So yeah, I grabbed the wrong one to be polishing the granite. I basically just put the granite cleaner on it, which helps it shine up somewhat, but nothing like this granite polish. So these are the two products I use, and I could use the granite cleaner in here first and then the granite polish second, but I've already cleaned it out with the Dawn in the hot water. And I'm just gonna keep on rolling until this kitchen is called done. Granite polish, oh my goodness, I love it. I've been using it for years and years. I love the looks that it gives the granite. So I may end up taking things off and putting the granite polish on, being that I've got it out. But I'm gonna let that sit just long enough to go grab my 2 rags, one for wiping it down, one for buffing it down. So I do not, and I mean do not, hold back on the cleaning rags. Look, that is just from, oops, cleaning the kitchen. Yes. Now I'll have to do a bleach load. Take these nasty things on into the laundry closet. Look how dirty and nasty that table is again. Again. Seems to never be an ending story. That about filled that bucket. Oh well. That's one clean kitchen, however. Now to put some other things away. And then I will move on to probably start with the guest bathroom because it takes very little time. So you're asking what was in that Amazon box? Another bottle of the witch hazel. It's the cucumber and it's alcohol free toner. I'm almost out of mine. And I had these 2 in my cart for like later. And somebody went ahead and put them in the to buy cart and purchase them. There we go. That is what was in the Amazon box. And boy, does it feel good already to have a clean kitchen once again. Somebody's wanting me to go outside and play with them. They're gonna have to learn to start shutting that door. I tell you, she's in and out more than a child is. I'll be in one room and I'll hear the door open and she's got it wide open. I'm like, I've got to teach you how to shut the door because you're letting the flies in. Now I've got to teach her to turn around and push it back. Oh yeah, the kitchen is clean and I'm not sure where I'm going to next because it's still early. What, like almost 20 after 1, so I still have plenty of time. And I did go ahead and polish the granite down since I had the granite polish out when I cleaned up the sink or polished the sink. I said you might as well go ahead and hit the countertops, the granite, while you're at it, and I'm glad I did. Because now this has literally been cleaned through and through, other than washing and wiping down the cabinet doors. But I do not do that every time I clean a kitchen. No, that has to be the job of the day or something like that. So it's clean. Even the floors are somewhat done, as good as I can get while she is here. So this is all that I'm going to be recording for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and close it up right where I started off. And thank you for coming along and hanging out with me while I tackled the kitchen duties today. And I hope you all have had a marvelous day, or you are getting ready to have a marvelous day. Does it happen to you too? There's a fly. She's trying to catch it. I mean, she'll try to knock anything and everything over in this house going after it. So I need to get rid of it. That's what I'm gonna say. Until we meet again, you all take good care and bye-bye.